Good morning. It's Monday. It is 3:40 a.m. Monday got to be early. Friday have to be early. The day before the holiday has to be early. The stronger the discipline, the better it embodies inside of you. I was listening to Tony Robbins this weekend, and he was talking about his accomplishments, and he was talking about, and I know this guy's history. I know where he comes from. I know what he's endured through. I know that his mother was an alcoholic. His father had left. He had multiple dads after that. Um, and he just had kind of a horrific childhood growing up. But he says in every single one of his homes right now, it's either close to a lake or he has a cold body of water inside the property that he keeps at all times. And the first thing he does in the morning is jump in it. That may sound psychotic, but think about it. It really, on the road to what you want, if what you want is just, you know, off the charts. I mean, anybody can want a Ford Focus. Anybody can want a little house. Anybody could want the bills to be paid. I think anybody can want that. I don't think you have to do too much to want that. But to get the extra special things, the things that go a little bit higher and above, and I mean literally exercise your mind and your imagination about the things that you want. You sometimes have to go through those extremes in order to put the ego in check, in order to put the conscious mind that tells you can't accomplish or do certain things in check. We were driving to service yesterday, and I looked over at Ricky and I said, you know what? I said, how would you like to have a maid that came in 3-4 times a month? You know, clean the baseboards, wipe down the windows, wipe down the walls, clean all the lights, the lamps, the chandeliers, wash the windows, clean inside the stove real good, clean the bathrooms, you know, once a week, 2-3 times a month, whatever. How would you like that? She said, well, I would love that. I said, how would you like to also have possibly, you know, somebody come in and watch the kids? Even if we're here, watch the kids 2-3 times a week, twice a week. Even if we're standing right at the refrigerator, Silas walks up, says, I want some apple juice. That lady's job or that man's job is to come give them some apple juice. That's their responsibility. I said, how would you like that? If the baby's crying, they go to the baby and pick them up twice a week, once a week, twice a week. We don't have to go anywhere. We can stay right in the house, do whatever we want, but we know that that's not our responsibility for that time. We can let that go to somebody else. She says, well, I would love that. At that moment when I'm talking to my family, I'm trying to get them to see what I see. I'm trying to get them to see what has me up at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, out the door at 3:30 in the morning, at the gym by 5 in the morning, in my office by 6 in the morning, going through some mental activities by 6 to 7, 7 to 7:30, 8, working on some other skill building techniques from 8 to 11, calling people and being very good at calling people, not okay, being very good at calling people. Because there's no urgency, there's no rush. If you don't want my services, that's fine. I don't want to push it on you. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. But do you know what it takes? Do you really know what it takes to have that? I stopped wanting mediocre a long time ago. I think as a child, I never wanted mediocre. I never wanted simple. I never wanted to just pay the bills. I was always telling people I wanted to be a millionaire. I didn't know why I wanted to be a millionaire, but I wanted to be a millionaire. And my passion and my strength to be in that direction has not waned any. Have I amassed $1 million over my working career? 100%. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind, $1 million has passed in and out of my hands at some point in time. But that was before I had the idea of setting targets, before I had the concept of setting goals, before I had the idea of envisioning things bigger and better, before I had the idea of being able to pull myself out of ruts by knowing that I had a bigger purpose in life that propelled me so much further down the road. So that's why I'm up. And that's why Mondays are important, that I get it started even earlier and even better, because Monday sets the tone for the rest of the week. Friday sets the tone coming into the week. You got to stay in a perpetual motion in order to make sure that you get to where you got to go. It's not an easy journey. It's not simple. But if it was simple, then everybody would do it. I know people right now who have made goals to do certain things that were on the simplest level and still have not done it, which tells me right then and there that it's 100% in the mind. And if you haven't convinced the mind, or given the mind, or given your conscience, or given yourself enough reasons on why it needs to be accomplished, then it won't happen. My coach, and I'll leave it at this, my coach told me, he said, write down all the things that you want. And then he said, pull out the top 3. Go back through your list, pull out the top 3. And then I want you to write a paragraph, and I want you to do this every morning. Every single morning. I want you to write one paragraph on those top 3 things that you wanted, on why you want it. Create the why and the reason. Make it so realistic that your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind, your conscious mind is the one that feeds into all the bullshit. The news, the Facebook, the blah, 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 blah. Subconscious mind is the one that's working behind the scenes. It's Oz. He said, I want you to write that down. I said, okay. He said, but, he said, I want you to take another sheet of paper, and then I want you to write all the reasons why, if you don't accomplish this goal, what it will mean to you if you do not do it. So on one page, he wanted me to write all the reasons why I wanted to accomplish this goal, and then on another page, he wanted me to write down all the things that would happen as a result if I did not accomplish it. Would my family suffer if I did not accomplish my financial goals? Would my health suffer if I did not? Would my health suffer and I would go into early age dementia, or go into some type of physical ailment that could possibly detour or hinder the remaining parts of my life? If I didn't develop a better relationship with my wife, what would it cost me? Because the technique is to get you to see all the reasons why you should, and then attach so much pain to it that you see that if you don't accomplish it, this is all the things that will happen as a result of that. Make your Monday great. Create a schedule that will create your life to be a great one. I already worked on a new schedule. I went over it with Ricky. I'll show it to you briefly. Hey, and tell you what, if anybody wants a schedule like this, I'd be happy to put it together. It's my own personal one. But this is something I send out to my accountability partners. It's numbered. It used to be kind of random all over the place. But I went back through it, and I started saying, hold on, how can I get more out of my day? How can I harness my day and get more out of it? I'm already seeing the progress. I already have more listings at one time than I've ever had. How can I harness this? How can I really hone it down and hit the money spot, right? Hit the money spot. What can I do? I went through my list, and it was about, I don't know, it was about 25, 30 things. I went through and I started pulling out what was the number 1 and 2 things out of each one of these lists. And if they're number 1, number 2, everything else is just extra. Focus on these. And one of the daily disciplines is focus, concentration. So that means I have to focus on the number 1, number 2 things. God bless, I'm out. I hate these 10-minute long videos. You know why? Because only I watch them. Peace out. Oh, another thing I want to leave you with. It's not about the people that like you as you're going through your progression or your transition. It's not. It's not. Your emotions, your attitude, your persona is intended to attract like-minded people. That's it. Anybody that doesn't like you, can't accept the way that you are, well, one is, if you're just ultimately fucked up, that's different. You shouldn't be that way. But if you have a certain specific way about you, that's okay. Let the people that are supposed to be in your life come around and magnify that. Don't let nobody ever piss on your parade, all right? God bless. Take care. Bring an umbrella, sucker. I did. It's your fault if you get caught in the rain. It's your fault if your finances ain't right. It's your fault if you're fat and out of shape. It's your fault if you're not getting up early in the morning and doing what you're supposed to do. It's your fault if your relationship is falling apart. It's your fault. Stop blaming other people. Take responsibility right now. That's the number one key to success, is taking responsibility. 2 fingers.